Welcome to the special edition of Executive Conversations, filmed amid the energy and excitement of Dreamforce 2023. I'm Leandro Perez, ready to be inspired again by the vision of our global leaders. We've already had so many incredible conversations. If you've missed an episode, you can catch up at sfdc.co/conversations. I'm here with Paula Goldman, Chief Ethical and Humane Use Officer at Salesforce. Paula has been working at the intersection of technology, markets, and social good for most of her career, whether in startups, not-for-profits, or enterprise. Today, she leads our Office of Ethical and Humane Use, and we're so lucky to have her as a powerful advocate for the ethical, responsible, and safe use of generative AI and data. Thanks for joining us, Paula.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, look, I like to start things off with a little icebreaker. If you think all the way back when you were a little bit younger, what did you want to be?
Believe it or not, I wanted to be a drama teacher. So I had like an incredible drama teacher. I was very involved in theater, and I found that he inspired groups of people to be their best, you know? That's what I wanted to do.
That's incredible. No one's said that before, so you know that you're a first, and I love it. I love it. It's a very important teacher's a very important role. So tell me now, if we think about your current role, or maybe even before Salesforce, what are you most proud of that you've achieved in this space?
Well, when I think about it in a Salesforce context, you know, I could give you lots of examples of products where we've, you know, differentiated the product on trust. We've put innovations in there to make the product trustworthy. But I think really what I'm most proud of is culture, right? Because when you're trying to make ethics and trust a thing, it has to be everyone's job. And we've worked really, really hard at Salesforce to make trust everyone's job.
No, I like that, and it's true. So going on there, given that this is a unique role, can you explain how your team define what you do work on?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of Salesforce products, as you know very well. But we have a set of guiding principles for AI around transparency and empowerment and whatnot. And then we also look at risk, right? And we look at products. There's some products that are just, you know, they're not going to have much risk. And there's some that are going to have a lot more risk. And so those are the ones that we prioritize. And those are the ones where we work hardest with our product and engineering teams to make sure that we've got answers for all the questions that arise.
That's fascinating. Now tell me, if you think about AI and generative AI, what are the questions you're getting right now, and how do you think through them? Is there a framework that you use?
Yeah, there's a whole set of questions, you know, and I would say the most frequent question that we get is about data. Like, how do I know what my data is being used for and not? We get that from our customers all the time. We get questions around bias. Bias is a real problem with AI. Toxicity, because sometimes when models are trained on the whole internet, there can be problems with some of the language that gets into those models, right? And so for all of those types of questions, we're working on solutions. And you know, if you're tuning into Dreamforce, you'll hear about this, our trust layer, lots of solutions to all of those questions. As well, I would actually add one more, accuracy. How do I make sure when it comes to generative AI that I'm getting relevant results, right? Yes. We were working really hard on that.
So Paula, how can businesses earn trust with AI, and what are we doing at Salesforce as well?
Put simply, I think transparency breeds trust, right? So if you're using AI with your customers, you want to let them know that they're interacting with AI. You want to let them know what to expect. And if they're interacting with you and they're giving you data, you want to let them know that and what it's going to be used for. I think those are just basic common sense principles. And I will say you'll see that embodied throughout our Einstein products, right? When you're interacting with Einstein, you'll get a little pop-up that'll tell you what to expect, what to look out for. You know, we take data privacy it's deeply, deeply important to us. We have lots of very important tenets about how you control your data as a customer, and you get to decide where it goes and who gets to see it within your own company. And I think those types of things set the foundation for all of the other questions that may come your way.
Now, Paula, we have a C-suite audience tuning in right now. They're probably thinking, well, how can I get started at my company? What tips or guidance would you have for them?
Yeah, I would say two things. One, I think we're in the early days of AI right now, but similar to how it was for the technology industry 20, 30 years ago with security, where it was kind of a wide open field, but now we have governance standards, we have board standards for governing security, et cetera. And I think if you're looking to get started with governing AI in your company, which is really, really important, the best resource that I know of is the NIST AI Risk Management Framework. Lays out a series of steps for how you implement and monitor AI, simple steps. I think that's a really important way to make sure you know how AI is operating in your company.
So this space is moving so fast. Like, how do you keep on top of it, Paula? Is there some special sauce here that you're doing?
You know what? I follow a lot of lists. I look fervently at the news, and frankly, I spend a lot of time with our AI research team, right? Because they're kind of at the cutting edge. They're publishing papers all the time about the emergent capabilities of AI. And when I look at that, I read those papers, then I think like, okay, and what does this mean for trust?
So tell me, if there's folks that want to bring this kind of rigor to their companies, what's the kind of profile of person that they're looking for? I don't know. Would I look on LinkedIn for someone that does this before?
Yeah, it's a growing field. AI ethics is, I'm very happy to say, a growing field, even if I compare it to where we were 5 years ago with that. And there are people that I think increasingly have this skill set, and they sometimes come from social science backgrounds, sometimes they come from technology backgrounds. My team has like a huge diversity of backgrounds, and that's amazing because that's the kind of, yeah,
right?
Exactly, yeah.
So actually, that's a really interesting question. Given the diversity of what's happening in AI, is important for us to have that diversity of thought. Is there something that has come up in terms of your thinking there of, hey, we must ensure that when we're looking at every program we have a certain demographic across global regions or male, female? Like, how do you keep up with all of that?
It's an enormous challenge. What I will say is, early on when I came into Salesforce, we created this ethical use advisory council, and it has outside experts from tons of different fields and geographies. It has executives from across the company, and notably and importantly has frontline employees from across the company. And we also go outside. We also talk to civil society groups and whatnot when we have questions that we need wisdom on. But it cannot be, diversity is so deeply important, right? Because who's at the table determines how these things get built for all these different audiences, right? So it's very, very important that the people you're building for are represented in building it.
So important. Now, just one last takeaway here. Obviously, I'd love for everyone online to one day meet you, but if they can't, where can they find and learn more about what your team's doing? Are you publishing some materials they can leverage, or where can they follow up?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have an ethical use website. We can throw that URL up, and we also have a trusted AI website. So I would recommend both of those are chock full of resources.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you again for joining us in this special edition, Paula.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I want to thank all of our incredible guests for sharing their thoughts on some pivotal subjects, including their AI perspectives. For more of this special Dreamforce edition of Executive Conversations, head over to sfdc.co/conversations, where you'll also see some interviews that we caught right here on site with Parker Harris, Amy Weaver, Peter Schwartz, and some special customers. Thank you for tuning in to our Executive Conversations Dreamforce Special. See you next time.
Okay, I'm gonna start that again.
Yeah, no, all good.
Okay.
Today she leads our office of oh my God. Oh, there's so many bloopers. Can I get a little bit of water before I embark on this monologue?
Tongue twister.
Yeah. Thank you. I got it! Oh my God, there was a lot of tongue twisters in there. That last line is literally like a gauntlet of